Hello guys, how are you? I hope you're doing good, amigos. And after this video, I gonna take 2 months of hiatus, 2 months of break because exams are important. Like I said, my last video was this past episode of Dispatch. The reason I didn't upload relate this video, the reason why didn't I upload this game on my video frequently because I only play this game privately, and it's 18 plus game. I just realized. So I had that. I'm afraid that YouTube gonna monetize my videos. So I didn't. I stopped uploading on my onwards. So here we are. And after this scaling, I also gonna scale some of the few series as well. Beside One Punch Man, like for example, Solo Leveling, JJK. It's also my one of the best series. Tesundara. That time I was reincarnated as a slime, and so on. So we're gonna start with one particular manga panel where Garo saying, "I don't get it." Here we are. Shall we begin? Yes. Here we go. I don't get it. I'm countering him with just as much as power, but the next attack hits even harder. I can't keep up. And when we scroll down, now I'm getting left in dust. I'm taking left. ट्रांसिशन करने वाला है, इवेंचुअली ट्रांसिशन करने वाला हूँ. और हाँ, दिस इज गोना बी माई लाइफ एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ अपडेट. सुनो अभी लेजर पॉइंट करने वाला. आई गोना सेट ऑन लेजर पॉइंट टू एक्सप्लेन यू ऑल इन अ मोर प्रिसाइज वे. ओके, हियर वी गो. हाय यू. डैम नेट इंटरनेट. ओके. हेलो एवरीवन, हाउ यू डूइंग? I already introduced you already. Garo is offering you with the handshake with his martial art. Introduction. First of all, we're gonna explain what is. First of all, we will start with the classification of what is. I classified this video. I divided into six categories. As you can see, what is linear equation, what is exponential, what is exponential into vertical line curve, and what is vertical line. Why does arbitrary limits, low limit fallacy along with the equalized stat wouldn't work against Saitama case? Equalized stat and low limit fallacy. Saitama went outside of graph while reaching to singularity, while Garou reached at that point as well while mimicking Saitama. However, limited to the past state, function of Saitama power. And if you need more about what is past state I'm referring, you must watch my previous video about why Saitama is beyond tearing system. So moving on to next slide. What is linear equation? Linear equation of two variables is a algebraic equation which each variables has exponents power of 1. When you plot this kind of equation on a graph, it always forms a straight line. General and standard form. There are two main ways mathematicians write this equation. Standard mode: x plus y is equal to 3. C is a constant. Slope intercept mode is based on a graph. Example: 2x plus 4 or y is equal to mx plus c or a. In this formula, x and y are the variables unknown, while a, b, c, m and b are constant fixed number. In this formula, x and y are variables. Okay, I think I did a mistake. I read it once again. Sorry guys for a mistake. Like I said, this is also a rushed video. I don't have much time to explain much further because I wish to. Exams are on the corner, and 10th February my first exam is English, which is the most easiest subject. Then after this physics. I also gonna post on the YouTube community about I'm gonna take 2 months of break. Yeah, 2 months. And here on there also national exam, NEET. Two variables. It involves two unknown quantities. Moving on to the okay, continue. Let's resume our explanation. It's involved two unknown quantities. Did I explain? Usually denoted x and y. First degree, the highest power of any variable is 1. You won't see x square or square root y in the linear equation. Infinite many solution. A single linear equation is like x plus y is equal to 10, has an infinite pair. X, y, that works. 5 plus 5, 7 plus 3, 12 minus 2. These pairs are points that sit exactly on the line. Real world examples. Imagine you are buying apple X, original Y, orange Y. Apple cost 2 rupees. Each and say $2, sorry, $2. $2 मुझे 18,000 1,800. Okay, got it. And orange cost $1, 800 900 rupees. No, 90 rupees, sorry, 90 rupees, not 900. It's 800, 180 and 900. So 180, 90 each. If you have total $10, okay, your equation is, you can see this. Any combination of fruit you buy that add up to exactly 10 is solution to this linear equation. My examples. This is one of the example. First of all, you must learn how the linear equation work. This is my handwriting. Please ignore the handwriting. Just pay attention to what I am trying to imply. Let's number of boy be x and number of girl boy. This is a different question. This is something else. This is a unique one. You can also use this formula. Number of girl will be y. So let's take equation 1, x plus y is equal to 10 and x is equal to y plus 4 or y is equal to x plus 4. Let's make a bracket for it, a box. We shall take x 3 obviously 3 plus 7 10 3 Milia, we got the value 7. Let's move on to next one. Let's take 6 plus 4 10. We can find many solutions with the 10 value, 10 number, real numbers. Like we have found it the 6th one. I already explained the 6th one. This is the 6. Got it. 6. हो गया. Rest out of it's a normal fraction. And x. Let's take 0. 0. Got it. And 7, I think. Okay. Less cost of one pencil will be x and the cost of one pen will be y. Since the y is equal to 5 pencil and 7 pen, first equation, and 7 pen and 5 pen of 40 rupees. 50 rupees I meant to say. 50 rupees. This is the 50 rupees. 50 rupees and it's 40 rupees. Rest of you can literally screenshot it. You just see here. Moving on to next slide, next topic. What is exponential? In the mathematics, exponential relationship is one where the rate of change is not constant, but rather proportional to the current value. Unlike linear equation who add the same amount at the every step, like addition and subtraction, exponential growth multiplies by same factor at the every step. Yeah. Core formula. The standard form for an exponential function is f is for a function x equal to a code like a big dot I would say, or y is equal to x a multiplied by b square, like b x. Initial value, the value of function when x is equal to 0, they are y intercept. B base, the constant multipliers or growth factor. B is greater than 0 and 0 upon -1. Exponent, the independent variables often represent time, like you can clearly see. So these are the key properties. Exponential function have a unique rules that separate them from other types of Maths. Horizontal exotomic. Asymptote. So, excuse my pronunciation. My apparently I'm not feeling well. Yet I am making this video. It's like a delegation. I passionately to make this project, but I was not getting even enough evidence. So I have to take the higher grades textbook. I have to borrow my father's, my brother's textbook in order to scale One Punch Man. And some people say I use AI. Yeah, I used. I explicitly confirm myself. I use AI, but for what cost? I use it for external information, because AI is kind of it help you to unleash your lots of that thoughts. It's help you to understand much further. Rest of you know what I'm implying, huh? Okay. Graph will get closer and closer to x of y is equal to 0, but will never actually touch or cross it unless it shift to vertically. This is the next slide. मैं इसके बारे में एक्सप्लेन बाद में करूँगा. I would explain this later. Okay. Rapid acceleration. As x increase, the slope of the line gets steeper and steeper. In the fact, the rate of growth is always proportional to this current size. Say, domain and range. Domain possible x value is all real numbers, but the range possible y value is always positive. Is good, yeah. If the initial value a is positive, real world application. Exponents aren't just for textbook, they are describe how world actually work. Finance compound interest. If you earn 5% dollar, if you earn 5% interest, your money grow by a factor of 1.05 dollar every years. Biology population growth. Bacteria can double every 20 minutes. Physics, radioactive decay. Carbon dating relies on half life of isotopes. You already well aware of in when you were in higher school, higher grades, where the quantities multiply by 0.5 over fixed period. Why it's matter? Linear versus exponential. The most common mistake is treating exponential like a linear growth. Linear is adding 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. While exponential on the other hand, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Multiplying 2. Like 2 to the 4, 4 to the, 4 to the 8, 8 to the 16, 16 to the 32, and so on. Special note to observe. Like I said, while the slant line y is equal to m c dot x plus b, or exponential curve y is equal to a multiplied by b exponent to x. This is how I was implying. Mathematical graph exponential function. And people literally ignore the dot itself. Some people are using exponential value in order to scale Saitama. But as I said, Saitama can't be scale. Monarity, I'm gonna explain later. First of all, let me finish this first. Example. I tried very ways to make as similar to as possible like mathematical graph. So these are the exponential. Diagonal start with the a, by the way, so a is equal to 100. If someone is wondering, just ignore this, just focus on this one. So moving on the next slide. Vertical line. What is vertical line? In mathematics is geometry. Vertical line is a straight line that run directly up and down on coordinate plane. It is defined as a line parallel to x axis and perpendicular to y axis and perpendicular to x axis. Oh shit. Oh, I'm great. Sometimes I contradicting myself because I'm not feeling well. I was working on this project day and night. Today is the conclusion of it. Equation of vertical line. Unlike most linear equations that follow the slope intercept from y is equal to mx plus b, vertical line is a special case because the x coordinate never changes regardless of y value this equation written as. X is equal to a or c. X variable represents any point on the line. A. X intercept a specific point with the line cross. For example, equation x is equal to 5. Discuss the vertical line where every point 5, 0, 5, minus 2, 5 or 10 share the same x value of 5 under undefined slope. Yeah, it has an undefined slope. Slope m, rise over run, rise upon run of line is calculated as a rise over run. Y is equal to y2 y1 y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. For vertical line, x coordinate are identical, x1 is equal to x2. This is make the denominator run equal to 0, divided by 0 or equal to 0. In mathematics, divided by 0 is impossible, which is why we say slope is vertical is undefined. Or it also means infinite. Special note, this is a very sharp observation, and I also stated before. Hyperbolic growth, it's like a exponential shift into vertical line is equal to, what if exponential shift into vertical line? Rectangular hyperbolic growth rate or normal hyperbolic. Hyperbolic growth is a pattern where the quantity increases at accelerating rate such that it approaches infinity within a finite amount of time. This is mathematical and practically just like a vertical line. Also, slope also reach to undefined infinite. Yeah, practical distance from exponential, which while fast only reach infinite as time approach infinite. In hyperbolic regimen, the growth rate is not just proportional to current value as in exponential growth, but is a proportional to square of value or higher powers, creating a blow up effect, which in narrative usually depicted as going beyond of it. Like it's you are literally essential. This is how I refer narrative represent their character. They reach to essential form, or even go beyond of essential, which Saitama did. Key component singularity. This is a critical time or a singular point. As t approach c, denominator approach 0, causing t is to explode towards infinity, like Saitama did. Reciprocal property. If you plot the reciprocal of hyperbolic growth function, fraction 1 upon fraction of x 1 upon x is appear as a downward sloping straight line and it hits 0 at the singularity point. Exponential and hyperbolic. These are the distinguish between what is exponential and hyperbolic. Proportion to value x, proportion to the square of value x. Yeah, infinite time, finite time, singularity, constant, double every 2 years, decrease, double faster and faster, smooth and ever steeping curving, hockey stick that goes near vertical. That's how Saitama growth is. If exponential growth is a car maintaining a constant high speed on trailman, hyperbolic growth is a car where the accelerator pedal is being pushed harder every second based on how fast the car is already going. Real world example: human evolution, population historical. From approximately 10,000 BCE until the 1960, the world population followed by hyperbolic trajectory rather than exponential. This was due to positive feedback loop. I already explained this concept before in my previous video. Why Saitama's beyond tearing system. I know it's almost 2 hours video, but trust me, believe me, please give me some sort of support. I need all of you to reach share to those people who doesn't know how One Punch Man cosmology work. The more people lead to more technology innovation, agriculture, medicine, industries, which increase the carry capacity of Earth, allowing for even more people to understand. Note, since 1960s, this has shifted towards logistic growth, leveling off as a fertility rate have dropped globally. Enzymes kinetics. Michaelis method. In biology, the rate of enzymatic reaction often follow the hyperbolic curve relative to the substrate concentration. As I know, added more substrate, the reaction speed increased rapidly at first, but then approach singularity of sort of maximum velocity, where the enzymes are totally saturated. Queuing theory. In computer science and logistics, the average waiting time in a queue grows hyperbolically as a system load approaches 100%. If the server capacity is nearly reached, a tiny increase in incoming tasks causes the wait time to explode towards infinity. Next slide. This is how hyperbolic growth looks like. Exponential still bounce to 1, but then afterwards reach direct straight to it. It's just like a vertical line, but it's a combination of exponential and vertical line. This is hyperbolic growth. And this one is singularity, vertical line. And this is hyperbolic. This is how exactly Saitama growth looks like, which I later explain for you. Exponential. In this stage, the cat is still within Okay, this is what's perspective of how power scaling usually do. Perspective towards how it imply in the power scaling. Okay, sorry. In exponential phase, in this stage, a character is likely still within multiverse or low complex multiverse here. Mechanics: for every unit or effort or time, their power multiplies. They are outgrowing their force at terrifying rate. If they were destroying planet yesterday, they are destroying galaxy today and universe tomorrow. Limits: no matter how high exponential curve goes, it always has a finite value for finite input. You can always point to the spot on graph, say this is exactly how strong they are right now. Shift to vertical: when the growth curve become vertical line, mathematical singularity, the rules of standard tearing break down. In the calculus, this represents infinite slope. Tearing system classification: TL0 or boundless jump. In most battle fiction tearing system like battle fiction Wikipedia or CAAP, this shift represent to move into outermost to boundless category. Beyond dimensionality, vertical line means that at a specific point in a time, the character possessed all possible values over simultaneously. For example, Hilbert space. They are no longer growing towards peak. They have reached the state where magnitude is irrelevant. Instantaneous infinity. If x represents time, the vertical line implies that the character achieved the infinite increase in power in zero time, finite amount of time. This is called immeasurable or irrelevant speed or strength. Word analogy: to opponent to the opponent on the exponential curve, the vertical character isn't the strong. They are fundamental laws of reality. They cannot reach the vertical line by moving along the curve. The curve will never touch the vertical asymptote unless it also become vertical. As we can see, Saitama literally reached to artistic and literally went outside of grab itself. Here one. Why equalized stat and low limit fallacy would imply on Saitama's Garou case? Most are well aware of how power scaling work and alongside bias at the same time. These so-called power scaler set up here and scale One Punch Man without knowing what exactly even happening and level them galaxy level of game. You know what pissed me off? That people nowadays people stuck to 2022 era and doesn't know even shit about what is actually serious punch begin with. I already explained the occurrence of why serious punch even occur. Narrative: Murata explicitly stated serious punch square is a representation of is a violation of very fundamental logic of math universe. Like E is going to MC square, Minkowski space-time invariancy, light cone, and causality breakdown. I already explained it during 167 IO chapter of series punch square. When in reality, series punch is causality breakdown movement which narrative and narrator or narrative confirm through Geno's dialogue. Also, people say Geno's hypothesis is just a hypothesis. Listen, my brother. Genos wouldn't say hypothesis unless because he said hypothesis because he clearly see, because he literally freaking see through his core, and his core is the best example. It's like a temporary data of their deleted version, deleted timeline. I also gonna okay. Now that I mentioned of Genos, I also gonna there is a one guy. There is one of my friend Cosmic Drifter. He literally made a video about why Genos hypothesis is a real. Why Genos isn't, this is not a mere hypothesis. This is exactly what Saitama did. Whatever the event occurred, it was true. Genos said according to Genos, and we can also clearly see. Saitama merged with his past Saitama. My brother already covered this video. I insist you must watch it. I gonna mention it in the above on the notification. Okay. Today I gonna describe reason behind of why Yusuke Murata sensei provide us this mathematical graph representation of both character which literally and directly scale them on their own respective manner. Before we begin, we learn what is equalized stat and low limit fallacy are. What is equalized stat? Equalized stat is a hypothetical condition state at the beginning of debate to make a fight fair. It usually means that the physical attributes such as speed, strength and durability of both characters are set to be exactly same. Why use it? If you pit the character who can move at the speed of light, Flash, against a master martial art who is only a human like Batman, the fight is over in nanosecond. By equalized stat, you allow the debate to focus on things like skill, intelligence, equipment and special ability, hacks, rather than who is faster. Common types of equalized stat. Both characters move at the same speed. Different power scalar system like chakras from Naruto from Naruto versus Ki from Dragon Ball are treated as a compatible so they can interact with each other. No limit fallacy. It's an important one. People randomly and without knowing the reason they imply one punch man low limit fallacy. Just accordingly, low limit fallacy is a logical evidence. Someone assume that because the character ability has never shown a limit in their own story, it has no limit at all. Problem. In fiction, authors often use absolute language. A shield might be called indestructible because nothing in its own universe is strong enough to break it. However, in the crossover battle, like I said, it is a fallacy to assume that a shield could survive a hit from multiple destroying a character just because it never broken its original lower power story. Example, Saitama. Argument, Saitama can defeat anyone with a one punch because his name is One Punch Man and hasn't lose it yet. Which I cover and overblame that claim through using hyperbolic graph which given by Yusuke Murata himself in order to scale. NFL. Assume he can one punch cosmic entity that survive the destruction of entire galaxy just because he hasn't found his limit against city level or planet level. Which is out linear. This is the freaking bogus statement from the Reddit. Reddit are one of the most biased website. How to avoid it? Instead of assuming limitless power, debate look at highest feat character has actually performed. If the character best feat is destroying mountain, they are mountain level until proof otherwise. And some people say Saitama's galaxy level. Meanwhile, Murata literally provide us a exponential growth, which when I gonna explain later. Okay, this is the one. Analyzing Saitama and Garou's grab reputation, you can clearly see at this rate, one of his punch eventually gonna kill me. Even though Saitama was continuing row, his rate is suddenly began to soar exponentially, rapid exponentially, soar exponentially. It's not a flowery language. It's actually it is. You can clearly see his rate of growth, which had gone unnoticed by anyone since there was nobody remotely on par with his strength, and due to the upscotch of emotion like none he had ever experienced. And Garou was the only character who able to observe Saitama growth rate. That, okay, this is what I am implying. And shout out, and I should give credit to Shingeki because I also recommend you to watch his video as well. He's he's a well known manga editor which I am familiar to. He's also a best editor. Okay, people don't understand difference between exponential or vertical line or hyperbolic. You can clearly see in the manga panel where his graph became near vertical to vertical curve. Not even which exponential visually have a mostly continuous motivation at all. Like you can clearly see at that times the point has been disappeared and Saitama constantly growing up and literally into vertical line. Literally he was reaching into vertical. You can clearly see the line. It's literally reached. While Garou and other one also reaching the same position. But moment Garou reached to that point, Saitama already went outside of it. Let me explain you. Yeah. And instantly went outside the grab itself. Even narrator yelled down by saying Saitama goes even beyond concept of grab itself. And then there was no longer left to measure what Saitama's strength had reached. The fact is Garou was the only one who able to perceive Saitama's growth that went from exponential to hyperbolic growth. Because at that time Garou reached to that point as well. Because he was the only character who was able to perceive Saitama's growth. Even narrative stated none of the character, even Boros and none of the character could able to serve. Even Blast. Garou was the only one who was in par with Saitama until Saitama reached to that point. He literally transcended the graph of the concept itself. Yeah, vertical line. The moment Garou able to reach to vertical line just like Saitama already went outside the mathematical graph itself. Trust and believe me, I went to try scaling, but Saitama each time his value became constant. Eventually went outside the graph concept. I even freaking asked my teacher about it. He said Saitama's growth is giving Saitama's becoming singularity. I was having hard time with Garou's growth rate as well, but then I realized Garou heavily depends upon past function. Wave function collapse. Wave function. Even Garou surpassed transcending two of his opponent no matter how conceptually powerful he is. Garou would immediately surpass through quantum Shanghai technique. Just letting you know, Saitama is unquantified. If not explained, yelled that Saitama can't be scaled with the proper evidence that Saitama went outside grab it concept itself when he reached to vertical line or vertical asymptomatic. In mathematics, vertical line has undefined infinite rate of change. If the character growth truly that effectively exit exist at all possible levels simultaneously for that specific point in the time, or they have surpassed the concept of level entirely because they became yeah. Here's the thing: Garou originated the vertical line as well while mimicking Saitama past state of function. Here's the distinction between Saitama and Garou. Garou was heavily dependent upon Saitama function or data which he was borrowing from Saitama state. Mod Saitama, which will lead him to have exact similar growth rate just like Saitama. But the moment Garou reached to the vertical asymptote, Saitama already went outside of very concept logic of graph, which Garou is underneath, a bit surpassing a calculation of mathematics. Oh my god, my head is beginning to paining. Huh? Now in the power scaling line, in the early part of the fight, graph show the standard exponential growth. Y is equal to A multiplied by B exponent X. Garou was able to keep up because he was copying Saitama function easily, essentially matching the base and exponent X. However, as I noted, the graph eventually shifts from being curved to vertical line. In the mathematical, vertical line has an undefined slope. This means the rate of change is not high, it's infinite. Narrative stated Saitama growth was responding to unprecedented surge of emotion. At this point, Saitama stopped being function where a time result in the power y. Instead, at the single moment in times, his power cover every possible value on the y-axis simultaneously. Garou limitation, fast function. I made a great point about quantum security. Garou power is reactive. Like I said, his quantum entangle may be a proactive. He may be occurring effect before the cause, but he's still mimicking Saitama regardless of. He's still limited to the past state. And you can, the dot is referred to where Garou is mimicking Saitama. He is a function of Saitama previous state. Means he is literally a Saitama of previous Saitama. And meanwhile Saitama surpassing his own Saitama. Are you getting my point now? Yeah. Mathematically Garou is always a x minus 1. He is only 1 millisecond left. He is only 1 millisecond ago from Saitama. Even if he reaches a vertical growth line rate, he is copying the data of Saitama from millisecond ago. A moment Garou uploaded Saitama vertical growth to himself, Saitama had already moved up the graph. Outside of graph, set of graph. When the narrative said there is no one left who could measure Saitama's strength, it's a meta-axiomatic breakdown. High outerverse. This guy usually refers for a character who transcends, conserves space and time. Garou also could reach to boundless as well. Boundless. When Saitama leaves the grid of the graph entirely, he is no longer growing in a way that can be mapped by logic. He surpasses the axiom of power. Also Garou potentially. Why is power scalar? Like why those people are so biased and piece of shit? Struggle. Power scaling undefined is the ultimate wall. If the character has slope of 10 lakh dollar, it can still calculate who's win. If the character has an undefined slope, they are performing infinite number of level up in zero time, finite time singularity. As we observe, Saitama value became constant only in the sense that he is a top, but at the top he is moving away from very concept of measurement. Garou reached the vertical asymptote, which is the fit that would put him above almost any other metafiction character, or eventually surpass them too. But Saitama used that asymptote as a starting line to jump off the page. It's a perfect example of writer using visual mathematics to communicate that character has reached tier 0. Stated that even narrative tool graph is no longer valid. Hater be like, stop yapping. Saitama was nowhere near to tier 0. He is a galaxy at mess. So does Garou. First and foremost, the moment the thing sign, which is function xy slope and intercept, stops showing in Saitama and Garou's case as well at the peak, both characters is the vertical asymptotic or undefined transcendent. Especially Saitama, who literally goes beyond vertical asymptotic by going outside of graph itself. But Saitama is equalized stat and victim. Problem with Saitama, as I noted in my analysis before, equalized stat against Saitama is often useless. Even if he stated at the same power level as his opponent, his growth is a vertical line, constant. He's unpredictable. He's the uncertainty of Heisenberg. You can't exactly predict particles position and momentum simultaneously. Result, within a 0 seconds, his power became undefined compared to the opponent, effectively breaking the equalization immediately. Applying it to the down players like them, for example, often use low limit fallacy to argue against Saitama. They claim that since we can measure his growth on the graph at the start of the Garou fight, he must have finite limit. And here's a counter argument. The manga panel itself provides the actual fight back against the NFL accusation by showing Saitama growth becoming a vertical curve that goes outside of graph. The author visually stating that power is not just unshown but a fundamentally unquantifiable, unmeasurable by logic of the universe. Or narrator yelled or screamed at us by saying this, and then there was no one left to measure what Saitama's strength had reached. Thanks for your cooperation till the end. I hope it should reach to everyone who have that uncertainty of why Saitama is being bound play. People hate Saitama because Saitama is so overpowered. Because one literally stated, Saitama can be strong if he wanted to. He's a limitless. He's a true limitless. And Garou is the best example of equalized stat. He's the embodiment of equalized stat. His mimicry is literally based on it, and he literally beat that equalized stat. You're saying Saitama wouldn't be serving crossover fight. Are you serious, bro? Okay, I'm gonna wrap it this up. I hope you like it. I know it was a rush video. I could explain much further, but nevertheless, I done my job. Your only job is to share to everyone. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.